Hello everyone. So, just kind of a real quick minor update. There are a few small projects I'm taking on right now just to kind of, do some more things for my fortress. But what I wanted to talk about was I started adding a lot more animals to this pen because I haven't done it for like the last 2 or 3 migrant waves. I don't really know why. It just slipped my mind. So I went in here and I was putting, I was telling the dwarves to add all these strays and a couple of the random named creatures to this pen. As you can see, there's a bunch in here, or there's a bunch on this list that aren't. Like, it's mostly puppies, kittens, and a couple of named owned animals that I just didn't feel like adding to it. Like, most of this is strays. There's a couple of owned animals, but I mean, it's nothing too serious. But what I wanted to point out is, as I was doing it, I'm not entirely sure if this happened because I was adding animals to it and it forced my dwarves to pay attention to some of the animals. But I did get this message for the first time, that a creature or person was missing. So, as you can see, it says the stray bull calf has been missing for a week. I'm assuming that the game is talking about this bull calf, this guy right here. The one who was murdered by the Minotaur last update. So, I'm pretty sure it's that one. I mean, I don't really know of any other. I don't think we have any other stray bull calves. I think that's the only one we have, or had, I should say, past tense. But just real quick, some of the minor projects that I'm doing is, I'm collecting some more wood, which is a very minor project, obviously. But like I said before, I am starting to get much more leery of going out here to collect wood, just because the danger is starting. We are in about halfway through the 3rd year of our fortress, so the dangers are starting to get progressively more dangerous. The other thing I'm doing is I'm starting to send some exploratory tunnels around this top level here, just so I can look for mostly iron and tetrahedrite. I mean, tetrahedrite's important, because copper is very useful for minor things like bins and things like that. But mostly I'm looking for tetrahedrite. Or, sorry, not tetrahedrite. I'm looking for hematite, more hematite. And the reason why I'm doing it is because I can see that there's a bunch of outcroppings like here and here. So I'm assuming there's going to be a vein kind of cutting in like this and back over here. There's a bit of a vein right here, so I'll probably find a bunch, or maybe not a bunch, but I'll find some in here. Like, really, I'm going to be digging around. Like, I'm not going to dig and breach out of the mountainside. I'm going to dig around all these things. I think there's some more over here. There's also, I can see some, that was around my pipe, but I really don't want to cut into it yet. But so yeah, I mean, that's really all I'm doing right now. I don't think there is an. Oh, I need to finish rearranging the workshops. But yeah, as you can see, I still haven't unmuddied my hospital yet. And even though I said I was going to start on it before the end of summer, I have not yet dug down to break into the caverns yet. But hopefully I should get at least started on that before this year is over. I would like to get on that as soon as it's feasible. Also, as you can see, I started smoothing out my future Baron's quarters, just because I want to make sure that this is as high as quality as possible before I have to assign my Baron. But that should be it for now. So, like you saw before, the season is about to change. We are in the last month of summer. And, hang on, something that I think we actually have quite a few, well, maybe not quite a few, but as you can see, we are starting to get some more steel bars. Starting to amp up production on those. So these first couple of steel bars are mostly going to go to outfitting my guys with proper weapons. And maybe a few, some armor, but armor is a lot more expensive, so I'll probably stick to things like helmets and greaves and simple things like that. I was also doing some research on how to outfit your dwarves, and I'm actually going to update their armor, because if we go to the military screen and we look at this, like right now they just have metal armor, which in most cases is, well, metal armor is just whatever they feel like wearing. I added the cloak. That's the only thing I've really added. Headwear, legwear, handwear, footwear, like all this stuff is just generic, just whatever they feel like wearing, basically, as long as it's metal. So I'm going to go in and actually give these guys specific things that I want. It's going to be a little bit tedious because since they're already in a squad, it's kind of hard to set them up to just blanket the whole squad. You can do that You can do it before you set up the squad if you go to uniforms, and you can change the basic thing here. I'm going to do it here as well. But you'll see, I don't want to spoil exactly, but this list is going to get a lot more specific and a little longer. So they're going to have more things to wear. And if I do it right, it should look, it should be pretty cool by the time I finished. And also, hopefully, virtually guarantee that my dwarves will no longer get injured. I mean, I know they've done pretty well in the last couple of skirmishes, but hopefully it should make them virtually unstoppable, if my math has worked out right, which it probably isn't. It'll probably end hilariously, but you know, whatever. We'll find out when that happens. So I'll be back once something happens with the season changes. Alright, hello guys. So real quick, something I actually completely slipped my mind until just now. Our mayor has actually issued another mandate. This guy wants some ballista parts made. So that's kind of a problem, but not really. But I say it's kind of a problem because we actually do not have, like, if we go into workshops, we do not have a siege workshop set up yet. So it's one of the few workshops that we haven't built. I mean, really, other than that, the only one left to do is, I'm probably not going to make a millstone, because that one requires water or wind power to operate, and I'm just, you know, I don't really like messing with the water wheel or the windmill. Other than the siege workshop, the only one left to set up is the screw press. So, I'm going to go ahead and get that, find a spot to put it, which I don't even know where I'm going to do that, but I'm going to find a spot to put this, and then get it built, and then start, you know, make a couple of siege equipment pieces. I'm probably going to hold off on it for a little bit, though. I kind of want to wait. I mean, you can cheat the mandates a little bit. I mean, if you know what they want and they're relatively easy, as long as you pay attention and you don't let it go over, you can make them near the end before the mandate expires to just kind of like really drag out. Because the more you fulfill their mandates, the more they're going to add. You know, they're just going to, you know, it gives them an opportunity to ask for more things to be made. So we can kind of cheese this a little bit, but it's nothing too serious. So, like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and cut the video and get that ballista shop set up, so I don't have to rush it at the end of the mandate. But I'll be back in a bit. All right, everyone. So, as you can see, we are still wrong button. We're still in summer, and we just got the human caravan has just showed up. So we're going to go ahead and get this gate open, get them in here to trade. Let's actually go ahead and go through here and look real quick to see what we have. We can probably actually start trading off our old weapons and things like that. Let's actually see what's in these. Yeah. Although I kind of want that silver warhammer. Iron pick, copper spear, silver warhammer. Yeah, so I mean, there's a bunch of stuff in here that we probably don't really need. So we're gonna go ahead and get rid of these. This leather we want to keep. Sand we want to keep. Glass we want to keep. Metal bars we want to keep. So really, I'm gonna go ahead and cut the video here. I'm gonna go through here and find out, you know, send a bunch of stuff that we want. It's gonna be the usual fare, like extra armor that we don't use anymore, a lot of powders that we don't need, like mostly mill barrels. Actually, we're gonna go ahead and mill barrels and pots, all these crafts, and then I'm gonna go ahead and go through and find a bunch of other stuff that we don't need, and we can go ahead and trade with the human caravan. But I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing that I've been doing. I'm gonna go ahead and cut the video. Once the humans show up, I'm gonna go through and decide what they have, you know, what we want from them and what we want to give them, and then I'll come back and give you guys, fill you in on what's going on. So I'll be back in a bit. Hello everyone. So this one didn't take hardly any time at all. So just real quick, just kind of go over what we're taking from, what we're trading for. We're getting some nickel bars, some bismuthine, which is an ore that gives us bismuth, or it's a material that gives us ore, bismuth ore. just like with the elves, we took a bunch of wood. As you can see, it's we'll just go ahead and call this one page. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pages, more or less. So 5 and some change, 6 and some, they only had one barrel of alcohol, and then just a regular barrel, so I wouldn't have grabbed both of those. And then the humans is more about the material, the cloth and things. So there's a bunch of leather bins, bunch of wool, pretty standard with the humans. So like leather, as you can kind of see, here's just a bunch of it. I stay away from the plant cloth because again that's pretty expensive. They brought a pretty even spread of cloth and leather this time. So let's see what else is on here. And then I grabbed a bunch of food like I always do. So a lot of it's prepared. There's a couple of unprepared fish, and then just a bunch of fruit and vegetables and things like that, and then a bunch of cheese like normal. So not a whole lot. We are trading for a mill barrel, which has a lot of dye, a lot of wheat, a lot of things I don't really use too much. These 2 wooden shields, which we don't need anymore, and then this 1 weapons bin, which has a lot of stuff that we even pilfered, like the copper bow, the large daggers, and things like that. The silver spear, which is, silver is garbage as an edged weapon, so I'm glad to be rid of that. Just a couple of weapons that really my guys don't use anymore. So I'm going to go ahead and try to trade. So their profit is pretty low, 185. So they're probably going to ask for some more stuff, but let's see. Okay, yeah, so they're going to ask for another mill pot. So let's see which one that actually is. It should be down here at the bottom. Yeah, so that's a pretty cheap mill pot, so I'll go ahead and accept that. They can have that. Okay, and then just like always, we're going to go ahead and pick out some things to offer them as tribute. To grease the palms, as it were. This is a lot of dye. I don't really need that, so I'm going to go ahead and offer that up. I think that's it. I think we're just going to offer up some dye as some tribute, so we'll go ahead and give that over to him, and then that should be it for this time. So, just like normal, go ahead and put everything back. And then send my trader away. So that was real quick. It was in and out. One more thing that I'm actually going to do. I'm actually going to start rearranging. It's a little late in the game to actually be doing this, but I kind of want to rearrange my stockpile instead of having one big one. I'm finally going to rearrange these into smaller stockpiles, and as you can see, I'm adding more to my factory level, and I'm going to start really rearranging my stuff. So I'm going to so like over here. Like this area is going to be all my cloth and leather. So I'm putting my clothiers, my loom, my clothier, and then my 2 leather works are going to go over here. And then, it's really going to be kind of spread out like that. So like all the workshops that utilize mostly wood are going to be, pretty close together, and so on and so forth. Farth? Man, I'm really flubbing a lot of words tonight. But yeah, so hopefully I should have that done, or at least have that all planned out by the next update. Yeah, I think that should be it. Not really a whole lot's going on. I'm actually being plagued by Kias. Let me see if there's any still on the map. Yeah, these things right here. This Kia, these green intelligent mountain parrots. These things are really getting under my skin. They're stealing a lot of stuff from me, which is bugging me. Actually, if we go to the alerts page, there's a lot of stuff. A lot of things have been happening. Here we go. So they've been stealing stuff pretty steadily, but this key right here stole a large dolomite pot, which I do not even want to fathom how big these birds have to be, or how powerful they have to be to steal a large rock pot. But it immediately gave me a masterwork. It was a masterwork pot. So, and it looks like I had a bunch of stuff in it too. Like it was decorated. Like you can see all these things. So it was a large dolomite pot from stockpile 5. That these things mean masterwork, and then these things right here on the outside means it was decorated. So that was an expensive pot that was stolen, which is probably why the Kia took it, because they're attracted to shiny things. But that's going to enrage this guy. He's going to be upset that it was stolen. I haven't actually checked to see if it's harmed his mood at all, but I'm sure it put a damper on it. So I finally got around to putting iron bars across the openings of these. I still don't have them all filled in, but I mean the only things I pretty much just had to use whatever I had. I mean at this point, out of the bars I'm actually going to use, I'm down to just soap, which I doubt that would be a very effective deterrent against birds. But anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and cut it again, and then we're getting pretty close to summer being over. We're about to hit fall, so not a whole lot of time is going to pass between now and the next update. But I mean, hopefully, I should have quite a bit done by the time that happens. So I'll see you guys then. All right, guys. So as you can see, it is now autumn. It is. I keep hitting the alert screen when I mean to hit the stock screen. It is the 1st of limestone. So yeah, very first month of autumn. As you can see, I got to work on trying to refloor my hospital to make it, no longer muddy, just to make it look nice. I'm doing it with marble. As you see, I've made quite a bit of progress on my factory level. I've added a second craft store shop. I moved my carpenter shop and my bowyer right here. All of my buildings that use bars are all over here. Well, the soap maker's not done yet. But the wood furnace and the smelter and the metalsmith's forge are all going to be over here. So I'm going to have to move all of these, which is going to be a huge pain. The mason's workshop I just kept where it was. I went ahead and put the mechanic's workshop over here because it's close to this dump where I have a bunch of stones in it. As you already saw, I moved the leatherwork. The leatherwork's over here. I've added a second jeweler's, which has been there for a while. I just didn't mention it. I'm going to move the ashery over here because the ashery also uses bars. I'm going to move it over here right next to the soap maker's workshop. And then I'm going to put the dyer's workshop either here or here. Probably here because I'm probably going to put my leather and cloth stockpile right here. But yeah, so that's pretty much done. Oh, I'm also building a screw press right here, just because I don't really use this place too much. I'm also going to add a fishery to this spot, and I'm going to remove the fishery from up here because I'm sick and tired of Kias getting in and stealing these pots, because the Kias are flying in, grabbing these pots and flying out, or fish, or whatever they can get their hands on, and I'm sick of it. I would much rather have this stuff secured from thieves over convenience of them, grabbing the fish and going down here, because mostly, I get a lot of fish from the traders anyway, so it's not too big of a deal. Oh, as you can see, I've also moved my well from here to here. I'm going to have to be a little bit careful because now it means that this reservoir is now open, so if I start pumping stuff from this dirty one to this clean one, I got to really pay attention because otherwise it could potentially overflow. So what I might do is, well, I really don't know what I'm going to do with this. I might even just close it up and put a little offshoot into this one, so that way the well is still there, but I can just clean it. Actually, that's a good idea. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to move the well again from here to right here. Well, right here. So it's over this little thing. So I can open this and keep this filled with water from here. But if I need to fill this up, I can just close this. Yeah, so that's a good idea. That's what I'll do. That way, there's no danger of this ever overflowing. I think it's... Oh, no, I also added a farmer's workshop? Yeah, I added a farmer's workshop right here. And the only thing this is ever going to do is shear and milk. That's it. That's all it's ever going to do. Because it's right here next to the pen, so any animals can be just grabbed from the pen, taken here, and then they can do their thing, and then they'll take the food storage. They'll take the food down to food storage, and then from there we can use this farmer's workshop. Hey bear, it's one of my animals. Up to say hi. What was I saying? Oh right. So any wool or cheese or milk that we get from the animals, we can just take to this one, and then process into cheese and whatever else we got to do with it. But that should be it for now. I'm probably going to add a few more extra workshops just to kind of take up the slack, because I normally end up with. Actually, what I'll probably do is put some more craft stores workshop in this little area right here, because what I'll do is the craft stores workshop is actually used for adamantine processing, and you need a bunch of them because adamantine takes forever to go from its raw form to its final purified form. So still got some work to do, but we are progressing nicely. Let's actually check on. Okay, so this mandate is still brown, so we still got plenty of time to fulfill it. But I think that should be it, actually. I don't think there's really anything else to talk about for now, because I haven't really done anything else. Like, work on my crypt is pretty much. I don't think I've done anything on that for like. I don't think I have done anything on that since like the middle of year 2. I really need to finish filling this up just for aesthetics reasons. Oh, my Noble's room is almost completely smoothed out, so I might start doing some engravings, but I'll probably have those guys, smooth out this whole area first before, because I really want them to have, I really want them to be as proficient as possible in stone detailing before I have them start engraving stuff. Because the better they are, the better the engravings, and the nicer the thought from the dwarves. So that should be it for now. So I will be back when something interesting happens. Yeah, so I'll be back. Alright guys, so it is the 11th of Limestone, and the game didn't notify of me this, but I was going through and I found this. Just, I was periodically, well, really I was just periodically checking the justice screen, and apparently my mason was killed. He was killed on the 8th, it was reported on the 9th. This guy found the body, but it didn't alert me of it. It didn't pop up and say, oh, we found someone who was dead. So there's no witnesses to the crime again. So the vampire struck again. And before, when I said I really hoped he didn't kill anyone, important, that guy was my legendary mason. So I just lost a really, really valuable member of my society. So now I have to train someone else up to a legendary mason. So I'm really hoping we catch this vampire quickly, because that's a pretty heavy blow. I only had 2 masons. I had my legendary one and another one who I was training up to be another legendary. So now I got to go through and find a bunch of other guys who I can train to be masons. I mean, that's really going to put a damper on my work. So it's not too bad, but it's unfortunate, and we'll leave it at that. I'm pretty steamed, though. So, I gotta hope someone catches this guy in the act, or something happens. So yeah, so I'm gonna start cranking out more coffins and things like that to train up my masons. But I mean, there's not a whole lot I can do about it right now. I don't even know where he was found. Granted, he wasn't drained of blood, so it could have just been a regular murder. Someone could have just, killed him for whatever reason. But yeah, I don't know where. The game didn't flash to it. It wasn't like, oh, here's someone who's been murdered, which you would think it would. You think that'd be a big announcement. Baby dwarf, sucked dry, huge announcement. Regular dwarf murdered. They're like, meh. know, whatever. Dwarves get murdered all the time. No, they don't. They don't get murdered all the time. When they get murdered, it's because something really bad has happened. So you should probably tell me when that... I mean, I had to find out... Whatever. I'm going to steam about this for a little bit, and then I'll be back.